So how the loved category works is that maps get picked to go up for vote, and then anyone in the community can vote either yes or no for that map getting added. And if a map gets at least 85% yes votes, then it enters the category. Usually the maps that are picked are pretty high quality or unique in some way, but every now and then there's this sort of curveball pick where the map is really popular but also really low quality. And just this last voting cycle, there was a map just like that. So as one of the people who picks the maps for loved and being the person who actually picked this specific map, I figured I'd make a quick video just talking about why maps like these get picked in the first place. So the point of the loved category is basically to be a place where anyone in the community has a say in what maps get added. And as long as people like the map, then there's no real quality standards. And how maps usually get put up for vote is that there's a small team of players that basically filter through the map submissions that people send in through the loved website, which I will have linked in the description. And then there's the actual voting phase where people in the community actually have somewhat more of a say. And it might seem a little like gatekeepy for there to only be a small group of people that actually pick the maps that go up for vote. And as someone who has been one of those people since 2018, I kind of agree. I think the best way I can put it is I think it should be the voting stage that keeps maps out of loved and not the actual people who are picking the maps to go up for vote, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense for loved to be advertised as this sort of category where, you know, anyone in the community has a say on the maps, because ultimately that's really not true if it's up to just a small amount of people that are just picking the maps. And ideally and hopefully relatively soon, the loved category is moving in this sort of direction where basically anyone in the community has a relatively equal say on getting maps put up for vote. So my sort of ideal / proposed version of how I think the loved system should work is that through the loved website, you can, you know, submit maps, which is already something you can do. But I think you should also be able to set a priority number for that, basically. Like you're basically voting for the map before it ever goes up for vote. It's kind of like the old Kudosu system, but people can also put in negative priority on any map. And every now and then the maps on the website that have the highest priority will get put up for voting, just like how the current system is. And then the people that are currently responsible for picking the maps to go out for vote, their job would basically be to make sure that any of the maps that have really high priority aren't like breaking the rules, or like the mapper wouldn't want their map to go out for loved, because that is actually a thing. But yeah, talking about this map in particular, I can actually show you the map real quick. I'm not going to play the music because of copyright, but just for context, I will show you guys what the map looks like. So here it is in all its glory. So there's 3 difficulties. This is just a guess difficulty, easy diff, and then these are the sort of main maps that existed when the map got popular. All right, y'all, let's take a look at this lovely masterpiece. All right, so first and foremost, we can always check the quality of a map by pressing Ctrl A. This is a rule of thumb where basically the more of the playfield the mapper uses, like, you know, using the far edges and the corners here, usually the higher quality the map is. All right, let's take a look. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, so that's a little strange. All right, let's see. It can't be that bad. That can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. And keep in mind, if you guys don't know this map, it's popular enough that it got put up for love voting despite its quality. So just keep that in mind and try to get a guess as to how many plays and favorites this map has. It's following something. It's got its own little charm to it. I think you got some jump practice in there. Single tap stamina practice. Okay, not bad. But I mean, all things considered, like when you're a brand new player, like there's no semblance of like, oh, high quality or low quality map. But yes, now that you've gotten a taste of this map, that's pretty much the whole thing. I feel like, oh, okay, we got some crazy jumps going on. All right, now let's have a look at the map page. How many favorites and plays does this map have? Drum roll, please. So pretty much 6,000 favorites and 10 million plays on an unranked map. This is something that's essentially unheard of. Like 99% of ranked maps don't even have this. So some context for this map. The list of submissions is usually sorted by favorites, or at least it used to be before we had a website. And this map was always pretty much at the top of the list because of how many favorites it has, ever since like 2018 when I started. But obviously we never really picked this map just because it didn't pass the quality filters. But recently, at least I personally have been trying to sort of push loved in a direction where the voting stage is where maps are rejected and not the actual selection process of maps. And even if I don't necessarily agree with a map getting loved, I think that opinion of mine should be conveyed by just voting no during the voting stage rather than not putting the map up for vote at all, especially if it seems to have such high regard by apparently a lot of players. I mean, 6,000 favorites is nothing to scoff at. We can look at the recently ranked maps just to get a feeling for you guys. Well, okay, I guess maybe not recently ranked, but let's look at like let's look at the highest favorited ranked maps, okay, guys? So, you got the classics, you got My Love, and all these sort of like essentially bundled maps. OGs, Rockefeller Street, 16K favorites. I mean, we go down like, honestly, 6K favorites is like really freaking high. Let's actually find where that would be. Okay, there's this bundled map, literally the map that comes with the game, or at least it was one of the maps that came with the game before the whole like featured artist map bundle thingy existed. And even this map has less favorites than the map we're talking about here. So you can see anything under this line, like all of these super popular, classic maps. Freedom Dive, that has more favorites than Freedom Dive. Oh my god, and Airman. Okay, yeah, so you guys sort of see what I'm talking about, hopefully. Like, you might not agree with the map's quality per se, but that's not really the point of the loved category. But yeah, anyway, hopefully I've sort of made my intentions clear. I don't want to end up rambling in this video, so yeah, that's about it.